Panatarapu Pamaat, Ankwaz Dejed, Uja Seneb, Ubin Nefer Eker Panebu Haru Ma'ati. Welcome all of you again to Karmic Dynasty platform, premiering tonight. I am here in my ASHRAM of ISHRAM capacity. Joining me this evening, we have Reed L. here to announce themselves.
Peace to all. I am Reed L, representing in my veil of the evening. Gratitude for having me as your esteemed guest, one of your guests. I appreciate you for even gracing us with your light and laughter and your energy, your outergy, your entire being. Gratitude.
And we have Ramutef Kweb of Ma'at Riot announcing himself.
Panata Pamat, Onkwas Dijed, Onkuja Seneb, Uben, Nefike, Panabu, Ma'ati to everyone. Peace. Anuk Ramatef Kweb, I'm Ramatef Kweb. I'm a practitioner of divinations. You can find me on Facebook as Ramatef Kweb. You can find me on Instagram as Ramatef_Kweb. And as well, thank you for the opportunity as well as being among the guests for today's show. I greatly appreciate you both.
We appreciate you being here. Now, this banner right here will explain the appearance of some of us on the panel for today throughout the ASHRAM of ISHRAM. Now, today, this evening, we are here to come to you all in peace. However, the parental advisory has been posted. This title of tonight's, this evening, wherever you are at this time, wherever you are now, the title is Men in the Temple. This is the temple for this evening. However, around here, we is grown and sexy, period. Now, I'm excited, don't mess with me. All right. No, not psych. Anyway, now we are here to discuss men and their place in this world, how they came about this world, and if they will return again to this world. There's so much more we will discuss this evening, and we are going to start with a presentation from Reed L. on the seasons of our men. Now, I have sent open invitations to at least 3 of our men to appear on the panel this evening. Definitely honored that Ramutef Kweb is the first to receive his seat on the panel this evening. So we may have other men join us. Now, if any man would like to join us on this panel, just contact me and I will see if it can be so. Now, if you cannot contact me for any reason, that means you cannot be on the panel. How about that? Now, at this time, I would like for Reed L to start our evening with the conversation of men and their seasons.
Again, peace. So we were speaking or we have been speaking quite a bit about seasons and reasons. And everyone has a season that they are best in, that they show up for, that they, what is the best word to utilize? That they would be their most, they feel that they are at their best, their highest self, or their most, for them, their most self. That goes for males and females. Well, right now we are speaking about men, and men have their seasons. Each different man has their own season. And just like we can't do anything without the seasons, we don't survive without the seasons, we don't survive without men. The season comes around now where grown and sexy, men come around, they want to make sure that they can secure their seat for the wintertime. Uh, or, just to make sure that they have that warmth and that security blanket for the fall, winter time. That's the season that some men may be in. Other men may be in the season of, let me cut ties so that I can have some freedom to go and do this or do that. Again, it goes to each person has their own season and their own reason for being in that season. And a lot of men, just like women, come around seasonally, so to speak. They're here for that season, and then they come back next year, quote unquote, for the same season. And then again, they're only around for a few months, and then they come back around again the next season. A repetitive cycle. Do we allow that season to continue to, make itself known, though? Again, though, we can't do anything without that man or that season. It's like winter, spring, summer, fall. Even if there's a man for each season, we can't do anything without him because that season is still needed. If I'm wrong, correct me. I would love for a man to give their take on the seasonal aspect. He's giggling.
All right, so do you want me to be blunt or just go with it? So
This is the grown and sexy. This is the temple of parental advisory.
mm,
Hit them with it. Do what you
all
got to do. Don't give
right,
no fucks about it. How about that?
that part. So yeah, when it comes to what Riedel was speaking on, it's very insightful for folks or men who are not really aware, and then it's like a lot of men in a sense, especially those who have been how you say not um, cared for as people would project things to be. There's a time and a place where a lot of us come into contact with certain individuals, and it's usually during certain periods of time. The main influence that I see personally is through the vibe that a person gives. From that, it's like in this situation, a person just pops up. In this other situation, you know, a person end up leaving. In other situations, it comes into the form of if it's convenient enough when it comes to men particularly, or just us and particularly, to be honest. We kind of, some of us move in convenience and others just know what they want. when it comes to knowing what you want as a man, most of us say what we want, but a lot of us don't like to live by it because it's just more so for, a certain opportunity or, just a gesture that's given away, um, what's that word? Unknowingly, or, most of the time it's just like, in a sense of hunting, because it's just like during certain parts of the season, like spring, summer, fall, and winter. In the fall and winter, men kind of go on the hunt, but it's more so in a sense women actually go on the hunt on this time period, and it's mainly because of society rules that certain women apply themselves to and don't know how to shake it. And then I'll just end it from there.
I like what he said, about it, if I'm not mistaken, you were saying that the women also go on the hunt. I agree. Although we're speaking on the men in the temple. So, yes, women hunt. When we look at the lion pride, yes, the woman goes out, the female, the lioness goes out and hunts. She protects the young, and the male is pretty much a whore, doing whatever he wants to do. But that's the lion pride. So do we give give you accolades for being a lion, or because I hear that a lot too, that men like to be the lion. You know, lions don't hunt though, so can you really be a lion?
That part.
The lioness is the one that goes out and hunts, and even the lioness has to. She's the one who accepts the lion when he comes into the new tribe, or pride, etc. Again, it goes back to that matriarchal energy that still has to acknowledge that male energy. you know I yield my feather.
Well, now there is a question or a comment based on men and their seasons. And I'm gonna leave that to the side for right now. What I'm going to talk about right now, well, I am saying right now that I myself, actually, I have a journal, diary, yeah, memoir. With that word, I'm familiar with. Y'all know me, memoir is that word. Now, I keep memoirs, and about my memoirs, I have noticed that men have their seasons in my life. Definitely, I suggest people keep track of behaviors of people that recur in your life. I know in August what man is going to come into my life again, come back around. I know what man is going to come around, just comes. I don't have to call him. When I have certain conditions in my life, he calls me. He comes into my life. So seasons are, as we discussed, the autumn, the spring, the fall, the summer. Some seasons are more frequent than those 4 seasons, but some of them is right on point with the seasons, according to my memoirs and my life. I also know what I realized this year, all on my own. that with the men coming around in their cycle for this year, because this August, the one I said contacts me in August, I realized the cycle, yes. I also realized I have all power to end that cycle. Put him out. He can go cycle somewhere else. There's no more cycle here. He has become unacceptable. So, hypothetically, does that mean that space is open for someone else to fill? Since energy is not created or destroyed, what avatar in a male form will take the place of the one that I have removed from my August cycle? Just a question and just some advice for us all to journal. Be mindful of the people cycling in and out of your life, because they have a pattern. As all things, there's a pattern. Realize the pattern. It's my piece.
Yeah, as you say, a pattern, a regular pattern that comes regularly, you know, just like a rich religiously, you know. The leaves lose their, or the trees lose their leaves religiously every fall. That's why it's called fall, you know, and that sometimes we do have to let go of those leaves in order to get new bloom, new leaves, new life. If we hold on to those same leaves, and you know, what dead are we holding on to? And what good is that dead doing for us? 'Cause I'm just going based off of what you just, you know, spoke on, you know, those coming in and out of. Some of those that come in and out of, though, are mainstays that we have to recognize and acknowledge. You know, they may not be there all the time. When they are there, though, they are there, fully present, uh, providing whatever they see as needed and necessary without even having to be told or asked. Uh, they they just fill in as if they've never even left, you know, out of the presence. Those are the mainstays, the seasonals that we know, just like the, you know, the sun is going to come up, that sun is going to come up. Literally. When the moon decides to shine, yeah, the moon is going to shine. We know that that's going to happen. So that's that mainstay that's there. That's who he is. That's my piece on that one.
Ramatef Club, would you like, are you speaking now on that? On anything? Or would you like to discuss anything else at this time?
It's kind of hard because it's like I'm looking at it from my own personal part of it when it comes to these particular cycles, and then for me, I'll just try to coincide into it as what I would do or what I've done as far as those particular cycles. Because most of the time, not even most of the time, majority of the time, I it's not me that contacts people. It's people that always contacts me, and it's like it's like what y'all were saying. It's just like it comes at spurts. Certain people will just randomly just come out of nowhere, and it's like the type of time frame that we had in certain what you would call months or so forth. It's just like it's almost like clockwork now that I've been listening to y'all, and I'm just coming from my own perspective of just seeing like clockwork how things been going when it comes into this realm of what people are kind of seeking or what people are kind of latching onto in certain ways.
Okay, so I have a question. Then I know you're the only male energy that responded, so you're the only one I get to ask these questions of. In your perspective, do you also see that women do the cycling of seasons and can also be that mainstay, just as you as the male energy, that male cycle? Do you see it in the same kind, aspect from coming from a woman?
Yeah, very true. Like very, very true. And it's like when I look back on my, I'll even say it. I love saying this. When I look back on my younger days, and I look how much of things that I've done when it comes to me being that type of person, or like the time period of being, excuse my language when I say this, like basically being a fuck boy when it comes to certain individuals that I was basically involved with. And it's mainly because of how things were playing out because of the certain lifestyle that I was living at the moment. And when it comes to the women that basically come around in those cycles, they always come in different forms and be a different person, but it's the same signature or the same type of how you say activities that go on when it comes to my involvement with them. And then for me, it's just seeing like how much of a dumbass I was back then, seeing how you know the little things that literally will trigger me to basically just be like, all right, I'm gonna do this. Or if I see something like an opening or somewhat, or if I hear like, oh, this person basically, how you say, like broke up with this person, things of that nature. That's like not, predator mode in a sense. And then from there, just from my own current lifestyle, when I start seeing like certain patterns with other individuals, and it was just weird how, yesterday for sure, like a lot of different people that I used to be involved with, like just contacted me out of nowhere. And in my mind, I'm thinking like they deleted it or just don't even have my number anymore. But for them to have the audacity to try to contact me was just wild. It was just wild to me. And it's just like, it's always during that time frame where, it's the, when things start getting cold. And then, like, even though I'm getting personal now, a lot of what I notice is that the reason for these particular ones that come in a cycle is mainly because of the energy I produce or the heat that I produce body wise. And it's like during this time of this particular season, that's the only reason why they're contacting me. It ain't for nothing else but for like maybe some adult action here and there, or help in certain finances and things of that nature. But most of the time, it's basically to share my my personal space or my head space, because I always been preaching this about our rooms or our household. And the main thing is like if you want to understand where your mind is at, just take a look at your room, your own bedroom. And that's where you'll start to really recognize like what is attracting these particular cycles, what is attracting me to these cycles, where is my mind completely? Is it focused on my work? Is it focused on other people or certain items in my place, in my domain that is like, that carries these people's signatures? It's like it gets real deep when you start to really observe certain aspects of yourself, because then when you see those things and once you notice it, you'll know how to break it, because it's like, most of the time it's mental, but the mentality of it is literally in a person's bedroom. And if you have anything of this person, they're always going to come back, always.
Okay, so I'm glad you said all of that, because one of my points I was going to ask, not you specifically, But just for men that will say, well, I didn't reach out to her, I'm not reaching out. It could be the energy that you have is initiating
Mm-hmm. You hit it right on
hers
the money.
to contact you. Yes, so your energy is calling out. It initiated her, it called, it contacted her, it reached her, and she called. But the call initially went out through your energy. So that would be something, my point. Riedel, let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna just to camelback off of that energy and the fire inside, just like the moth to the flame. You know what I'm saying? The energy that you at that male energy, that fire attracting even before you get to where you're going. They feel you coming. They hear you coming. They don't know where or what it is. Or okay, well, let me go on and make this phone call real quick, and all of a sudden you're getting a phone call because they feel your energy. I could be wrong, but that's kind of how it works for me. I'll be sitting here and just I'll think of, and then all of a sudden my phone is ringing, and okay, well, yeah, you're in my head. I just sent out that message, the communication before technology can get it out. That goes both male and female. Where the female fire, it definitely attracts the moth to the flame as well. The twin flames, even the separate flames, that when they do come together, it's still one flame, but you got a big fire and you pick up one of the pieces of wood that's still on flame at the tip. You go over to the other side of the world, it's still on flame. You know what I'm saying? It's still flaming. So that inner fire that you possess, yes, they feel it before you get there. That's that inner G, that inner God, where we speaking of the men in the temple. Yeah, the temple I'm speaking of or thinking of is the temple of the body of the woman. You feel what I'm saying? That fire, my apology. Well, yeah, okay, parental, I see it up there. I'm gonna digress before I go into a different language. I'm gonna yield that one to you because for me, how do we change the seasons that we don't want coming around?
We need to change our pattern.
Correct.
Do not answer to the call. Do not answer the phone. Do not answer the call. All the same features we use in these cell phones, block, don't respond. Whatever your pattern is that that person is expecting to receive to you, do not give it to them. Don't give it to them. Ramatef, were you saying something?
No, I was saying correct, like what you just said. Very correct. You literally just change it. It's a simple change, but we understand. Well, some people use it as a crutch at times, especially with men. Men definitely use it as a crutch, and it's just like the main thing that a man would, gravitate to is basically in the realm of how do you say it? In the realm of being lonely, because some of us are okay with it, but most of the times you'll always see them around people. Always will see them around people. Ain't no person going to be by themselves. No man's going to be by themselves. And then the category of what is like truly to be told, it's like having like I don't want to say like a black book, but it's just more so it's like a black book in a personal space of a person's head, of a man's head. It's like we have these certain ones that we can literally just go at any time, at any place, and know that they're having a great time with their life, but somehow, some way, you know, it's a whole little jealousy thing in certain men, and they when they get jealous, boy, do they reach out, and it's always going to be in a form of like, hey, I was thinking of you, or you know, you crossed my mind, or you you remember this time that we had da 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 da, da, and just going, just going and going and going. There's like many excuses at the end of the day.
Okay, you mentioned excuses, and you also mentioned about the men being from I'm gathering from what you said, men being weak in the physical because they just want a quick satisfaction, or women, even women wanting to just get into your mind. No, whatever. Women coming even wanting to just get that physical satisfaction from you, get that nut off, whatever. That's also seasonal.
Hmm. And if you want to get like real deep with it, and it goes into that realm of sex, really. So people gotta really understand that when you're dealing with certain people, especially women, the reason why women kind of um get these particular type of men is because they're summoning them without them even realizing it. And it comes in the form of, and it's both, and it goes both ways for both male and female, and it's in that whole realm of masturbation. Basically, you got to be very mindful of your thoughts, because that's what literally will summon these particular creatures. And I don't mean to say that about about us men, but I would be very frank and real.
I call y'all creatures.
I know I get it for you, for
I
real,
call
for
my
real.
grandchildren creatures. If you a creature, you a creature. Go ahead.
Yeah, I get it for you. I stole that for you. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, it's very it's very detrimental when it comes to that part, because unaware of the magic that we come from, it's almost like, even though we didn't come from you particularly, but that whole magic that comes from the yoni is very distinct. And if you use it in a sense to get certain things, it's going to come because you're a creator. Us men are just a product of the creation. So when it comes to like the factory or whatnot, it's like almost like an upgrade. Not even an upgrade. Let me say this again. It's like a how do you say? Yeah, it's like basically being reformed or remade in this particular person's image.
Which actually brings us into our main conversation today. The seasons was our warm-up conversation. Would anyone like to uh, share more before we go into our main conversation this evening?
I'm ready for the main
I'm ready
course.
for it.
All right. Now, the main conversation today is men are the fallen angels that the Bible speaks of. Men are the fallen angels in the Bible terms. For those of you who are Bible readers, you're on that note. We're going to start right there. We're going to elevate, of course, in this conversation. Now, a physical evidence. Let's go with everybody want evidence. Let's roll with physical evidence. I say physical evidence that men are the fallen angels would be their pair of testicles that have fallen for them to be identified as boys when they are birthed. We all start out as girls. You a girl in the womb and your parts fall, they have fallen, you're then categorized a boy. So right now, this is where this conversation is going. We're going to get into the details of if both of the testicles didn't fall. If you a man, you have just one testicle, we're going to discuss that as well. One that fell. And we're also going to talk about penis length, because this world, of course, we know has reversed everything, which means you are closer to who you are and where you're supposed to be in heaven, the shorter your penis is. And we have other things we're going to get into details and discuss. Would anyone like to speak at this time as I collect myself?
I will say that from my comprehension, heaven is known to be between the legs of a woman. I've always been told that by my elders. So just a little thought, little tap add in.
Yeah, you already know my thoughts on that. I spoke to you about certain things in this particular nature when it comes to uh, certain findings when they're dealing with us men, and then it's like you can go from different tales with it, but I'm gonna let you continue.
Okay. So was this Read L that's continuing, or is it me you want to continue?
Yourself.
Okay. Read L, would you like to say more before I do?
No, go right ahead.
Okay. So before we get into that, and to connect these two conversations, the warm-up the conversation and our main conversation, my thoughts are this. For one, there is this word love that bothers me, that is not real. And I'm going to speak briefly on clay love. When it comes to attracting or calling out these energies of these men to us, as creators, as Ramutef Queb has acknowledged us, this is the thing. Men, boys, they are already created. They are here. Us women sometimes have this tendency, or all the time for some of us, to want to recreate him. So we create a virtual clay image. And then we have everything we want to feel, every way we want to be touched, every manner that we want from a man, we have molded it and shaped it into clay love. So when we come across a man that we think will fit perfectly in this mold, we find out that's not the case. And some of us don't understand why. He will not do right in his mold. For one, he's already a creature. He's been created, dear. The frustration that us women sometimes feel is because we have not yet acknowledged the knowledge of that clay love is actually a reflection of yourself. So whatever is in your clay, you need to learn to apply it to yourself. It is not the man creature's position or role to insert into that clay love and be everything you want him to be. You are responsible for loving yourself in the manner that you want to be loved. You are responsible for touching yourself in the manner you want to be touched. You are responsible Now, when we connect with these male creatures, we are supposed to accept them as they are, just seriously, clearly. There are some things that he's not going to do because it's not his life path or purpose to do so. I don't care how well you decorate yourself. I don't care how much you beg and plead with him. I don't care in which manner you push these messages to him. He's rejecting those messages because those are not his thoughts. Those are not his energy signatures. Those all belong to you. And all you did was you removed those parts of yourself and you put them in that clay love. And nobody's ever going to fit into that clay love. You have to learn to open it up and put it back into yourself. Just open it up. Whatever it is you keep looking for a man to do, you need to learn to do that for yourself. Now, yes, the men, they have their gifts. They have their purposes. They have their own desires and pastimes and likes. We both need to, in that relationship, learn to exist separately while at the same time. Stop immediately projecting out your clay love to these men and disappointing yourself because they're never going to fit in there. And that's my piece for right now.
If I can tap in, that goes back to where, we mold. Let me not say we. A lot of women want to mold a man into their perfect partner, perfect spouse, perfect whatever you may call it. Well, that'll never happen because, like you say, they've already been created. They've already become the man that they were going to become. That's what attracted you to them. So why try to fit them into a clay mold that is not theirs? It is yours or our. It is a reflection of what you want. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong in that, but that's how I see it. Fitting around with bumps piece of clay into this square box or this rectangular box that you want to make sure, well, this is what I need, this is what I want, and let me get in there. If you can't fit in there, then you're not for me. Okay, well, let me fit 2-3 of you in here. Well, okay, you only fill up this one corner. Why are we trying to mold and do anything to someone that's already created in their entirety, in their energy? Why not accept us for who we are so that we can accept them for who they be and allow them into our temple for who they are? I digress. Getting a little aggressive there.
Yeah, speaking on that, it just reminds me of one of those tales from the Orisha pantheon dealing with Oduduwa and I was about to say Odumar, geez, Obatala. And from the stories, it goes with, Obatala was charged to, make men and women out of clay. And certain ones, when he started, he was making them perfect. And not necessarily perfect as in never changing, but just perfect in a way that, gets things set up. Later in the story comes into the involvement of alcohol. And from that alcohol, he started creating, certain type of clay beings from that. And then, the story goes on where basically, I want to say it's his brother or kin or twin, but Oduduwa basically finished the job for him. So when it comes to what you both were speaking on in this particular manner of the tale of, you know, being molded, that is a great way to like kind of, you know, assist oneself when it comes to that particular part of it. That particular part, what I mean is basically, you know, I stated it earlier too when I think about it, when I was saying that we come from different ones, even though women have the whole same power of creation, but we do come from different ones. And then from that mold of that particular goddess that we came out of is the type of, you know, love that we're automatically built with. And then when it comes to a woman, when she has created one, and that one is basically a mode of a mode of herself, but she's also a little different. That difference is when we go out there to go look for each other in a sense in that realm, and it's just in a sense of and in this time of era, it's literally very weird when it comes to the status of just um, looking to mate, to create things of that nature. But at the end of the day, it has been changed up in a lot of ways because of what we subscribe to in certain um, um, lifestyles or cultures that we are very um, attracted to, like you were stating earlier, like the moth to the flame in that sense.
Okay, so we're gonna go more into the men are the fallen angels. And so then the question would be, who are the angels that got to stay in heaven? The answer is us, women. We here on earth represent a whole creature. Men here are here for the school of this life. In real terms and thoughts here in this physical realm, men are the deformed creature, lacking wholeness. The men are here, and we are here as an example of remind them of what their earthly goal is. The men's earthly goal is to complete the task, to bring them closer, to bring them to heaven again. So we would be here as what some would call a hall monitor. We're here to monitor you all. We're also here at the same time to represent and remind you constantly of what your goal is, which is to return to heaven in your whole creature state, which would be the feminine energy, the creative energy. Now, we can also go in and talk about why then some men are here portraying themselves or whatever manner, dressing up, looking like a woman. The hair, the makeups, the gender roles, the gender titles, tags. And before we go into that discussion, right now, there was also a thing about men and their hunting seasons. A lot of men and a lot of the the system script says that men are the providers and protectors. And I say that too is a lie. That's the reverse of the role of provider and protector would be us women, based on the first law of nature, which is self-preservation. In order to preserve ourselves, we have to have the ability of self-preservation. And the ability of self-preservation gives us, of course, the ability to provide for ourselves and protect ourselves. And with our heaven status, we actually are the men's providers and protectors. And we actually have given them something to do while they're here, which is where the idea of provide and protect us women came into play. Until a certain time, there was no idea or thought that we needed a provider or a protector. And seeing as how even in the womb, we are first. And we enter this earth in this avatar in our whole status, our whole creation, without fallen parts, such as the testicles that they would call on the men, which I am saying today is the wings of the fallen angels. The men are the fallen angels here on this earth. We will also talk about how they return to heaven in their creative capacity, and how here and what things on this earth will have them come back and into a man form again into this school of life here. And we'll discuss other things as well. Would anyone like to speak right now again as I collect?
Go ahead.
Uh, I, the fallen angels and them being the angel wings, I can see, I do see that they could be that and how they are that, and returning to or wanting to return to. I see also how you were saying that they, when you fall from heaven, you would want to return to there, and those that are wanting to seek out being or finding that feminine energy that they lost when their wings may have fallen or their testicles fell, and they, garnered so much of the masculine and lost that feminine aspect of them, of which we all have masculine and feminine energies. So I feel you. I agree. Our men, yes, need to be protected by us. That was the first law, and it was flipped on us to where we have to feel that they protect us, although we write the law. So we are the ones that put down the words and etc. that protect our men from being the fallen angels and being attacked from anyone else outside of us. We know that they lost that extra chromosome, that leg, that the leg off of the off of the X to make it the Y. So they go through their existence seeking that quote unquote third leg that they lost at creation, not at their creation, but during their development of creation. Some of them do go beyond what's necessary to attain that feminine energy. I totally agree with that as well. Um, I'm going to yield the floor on that.
Yeah, when it comes to that fallen angel, so I'll give a brief tell on when I recognized what she was referring to. So there's a anime, one of my favorite animes is called Yu Yu Hakusho, It's basically a show about spirits, demons, so on and so forth. There's a particular character known as Hiei. This individual's story is like the coming of being when it comes to, you know, men coming into this world. So his origins basically comes from a village of ice women, right? And when they cry, they're being stolen in the show. They're being, you know, uh, kept into slavery because of what they can produce. When they shed tears, they shed pearls. So, long story short, the individual Hiei was born as a twin from one of the women, and in that particular, I could say, demonic race, they only produce women. And how he came into being, he was basically known as a fire child. So then when you go into certain lores or stories, when we go into the how you say the dogma realm, when it comes to, you know, the planet just being all women, and then the angels adored the women so much that they wanted to come here to this planet. So what they ended up doing was spiritually laying with them, which got them here. And then, you know, we get the whole story of the Nephilim and so on and so forth. But the whole part about the you know, the testicles dropping is it goes back to a funny saying that I seen a clip of what the actress comedian Tiffany Haddish was talking about. And then she said basically, you know, men or women, it's just our pussies fell out. Simple as simple as that. But when it comes to the wings part, that kind of like really uh brought my mind a little bit more, because it's like, damn, that is very true. Even though they call it ovaries in a sense, and then we give our testicles, but it's the same freaking thing. The only difference is that our eggs have tails, and you know, the ovaries in a sense, or the woman's eggs don't have a tail in a sense. It's just basically a very created sun at the end of the day. And then it goes like, I could keep going and going and going, and like all the similarities when it comes to this particular thing about, you know, us men coming here to this planet. It's in video games, it's in movies, it's in all kinds of stuff. But I don't want to digress too much, but I definitely can see what you're saying when it comes to the wings. And then, you know, the whole story, like that movie called Noah that came out like years ago, and how they depicted how, you know, the Nephilim wanted to go back, but the way that they depicted them was these particular angels were covered in, you know, monstrosity rocks and things of that nature, and the only way they came back was, you know, protecting, you know, Noah and his ark. And when, you know, the soldiers basically like kind of ripped them apart, they exploded, and they end up flying back in a certain type of energy. But if you really focus on that energy, look at how they're curved, or look how their figure is, and it's going to make sense. Even though they have a masculine voice, but when they return back into space, if you notice how they look, even though if you do like screenshots and it says, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I'll bring it back to you.
Okay, so even the egg that men have that you speak of, the tail coming out is an extension from the whole. So even that is evidenced as a fallen part from your fallen parts. That's just where my mind is. And so speaking on, I hear a mic. Go ahead.
Oh, y'all cooking. I'm taking notes.
Okay, um so speaking on fallen parts, and so um there is this, the question will come up. The question has come up, well, how does a man know? Because briefly, I'm right quick, I'm saying this. So the men are our fallen sisters. That's why we're here in this capacity, to assist you in the avatars ourselves. We are here. We are in the heaven realm, but we have projected ourselves here because we have an enemy who is here also. They look like us. In a few words, some would say all skin folk are not kinfolk. Okay, again, the men here are our fallen sisters. In our realm, you have erred in some way. And you're here to re-up on yourself, prove yourself to get back into your status with the rest of us. We'll call it, I don't like the word queen, goddess, but your creative self, your creator self, whatever gender form y'all want to put on that. Men are here to return to the creation status of the wholeness. We are here to assist you, to monitor you, because at the same time, the men are fallen sisters, and us who are here to protect you and provide for you. We are here because our enemy is here to keep you from regaining your position with us. You have a throne. We all have a place, a throne we share. Our enemy is here because they know you're here, making up to return to the throne with us. Our kingdom, our space has weakened. Every time a boy is born, our realm weakens. Our enemy is here to make sure y'all stay here as many lifetimes. Up to the count of 4. You men here have 4 lifetimes to get it right. And we'll go over that 4 number later. If you do not complete your learning here to return to the realm with your sisters in your sister status, you go over to the enemy side. They collect you up. So men who have 1 testicle showing, you just got 1, you don't got the 2, you have at least 2 more lifetimes. You need 1 lifetime to collect your full set of wings to be able to come here to demonstrate yourself. So that only leaves you 1 extra lifetime to cut up, act the ass, act the fool, and not get it right. We are here, and I say we, because there are women who look like this. You be like, our women, that girl ain't that woman, that girl you speaking about is our enemy. The whole of us are fallen sisters who are the men with their fallen parts. We're looking at the testicles this evening. And that's my piece right now. I know y'all know what I'm saying.
I'm still totally with you. Again, with not again, tapping into the men being recreated multiple times until they get it right, or until we step up and recognize that we have to protect them, keep our wings around them so that they can be the best them that they are able to be. Giving them what they need to recognize that they've lost, or that they've dropped, their wings have dropped, that they have that their wings have fallen, and that we're here just to protect them, to hold them, to lift them back up, to put them back on that throne that they fell from. I concur. I'm gonna step back.
It's crazy that you say that, because the only time, the only time we get fully into our feminine aspect within this masculine body is when we finally get done producing and are not capable of producing anymore. That's when you start to see us being more of the how you say, in the realm of feelings. Certain ones are a little bit different, but we become very about more of the energy and motion versus being more on logic. We can still be on logic, but most of the time, once we get to a certain age and then we're not producing no more, we become very silent in our old ways and start to embrace more of a in my terms, a more chaotic energy way.
Is it more of a chaotic energy, or is it embracing more of that feminine energy?
That's basically what I'm saying. For
which
me,
is
like,
chaos.
yeah, chaos, yeah. And how you say, and not even necessarily in my own terminology, but in my own terminology, chaos to me is feminine energy. That's what it is. It's completely what it is. Masculine energy is in the form of what is known as order. Once we complete the order, deliver, order, send, receive, given, we come out of that and become more chaotic. And in that chaotic way, people will see the word chaos as something very bad or very destructive. It can be, chaos can be destructive. We see it when women go against each other. It can be very destructive. However, when it comes to us men, we start to embrace that more, whether we have a partner or not. When we're to ourselves, we start to embrace that a lot more, where we're able to give guidance, because that's what Ishram was speaking on. We start giving more guidance as we get to this particular level. Some of us can try to embrace it now, but we're still, you know, trying to still get our wings back, as you, as you put it.
Yes, and we have another a man entering the studio having devices not connected as the technical message I'm receiving. So you'll want to work on making sure no other part of your device is using your camera and or your microphone. And peaceful, respectful greetings to the brother attempting to enter the studio at this time.
I agree.
So did y'all not hear none of that?
Yes,
Okay. So my bad. Well, go ahead.
my apologies. Yeah, I was just going to tap in on what Ramotaf Club was just speaking on, the fire and the falling. I lost my thought. My apologies. Give me a second. Let me come back to that.
Okay, so while you do that, I'm going to touch and brief right now on the men attempting to cut the line. They're trying to get in front of y'all in line. Now, some people don't mind, but where we're at, no line cuts are allowed. It's not even possible. And I see Reed L has her thought. I'm going to sit still.
Yes. Okay. So again, from the chaos from order, or getting order from chaos. That's what Ramatef was speaking about. How he sees how him as the male sees us females as the chaos. Yet again, we have to write down the orders to give to the men for them to enforce those orders to create the order from the chaos. It's almost it goes full circle either way it goes.
All right, then moving on to those attempting to cut the line. Men having sex changes. Men dressing up as women, some would call drag, trans whatever, because a part of them is aware of their creation status, us sisters, women status, the heaven realm, us creation realm. And they know that they're probably not gonna meet that for a lifetime deadline. And they're attempting to cut the line and shortcut and dress up as a woman and appear as a woman. That's not going to get you there. So calm down, cut the shit, put your damn pants back on, take the lashes off. If you had a sex change, I don't know about no reversal techniques, but I'm just here to let you know that's not going to get you where you need to be. You're going to be here another lifetime if you keep taking that part position in the avatar you currently are in. At this time, we have another masculine energy here on the panel, honored, and I ask that he now announces himself. Welcome to Karmic Dynasty. And unmute your mic. There you go. And announce yourself.
How y'all doing? Y'all know me, Rod Hayes, aka Chief Pontiac. Just coming in to say hello to the sisters and offer some encouraging words.
We are listening.
What is the topic of today? I just got the message. I'm babysitting two of my god babies, so I've been just not getting to my messages. So y'all could kind of like catch me up.
Yes, and again, welcome, honor to have you here, Rod Hayes, also known as Chief Pontiac. That's right. Welcome. Who would like to fill in our brother here?
I was just gonna say, buckle up, brother. Buckle up.
All right, Reed L, would you like to fill Rod Hayes in on where we're at, what the topic is, what the discussion is, and then we're definitely looking forward to his feedback and giving him the floor.
Definitely. I want to say I appreciate you for joining us this evening as well, Chief Pontiac. Gratitude for that. We are speaking on fallen angels, where the men who lost in the womb, we all started out as female, as that X chromosome. Then the men lost their wings that fell down to become their testicles. And us as the women here, the females, we are here to protect the fallen angels, to ensure that they get their rightful position of keeping order. I hope I'm giving a good synopsis. someone, Ramotef or Ishram, if you all can just.
And would you share with him brief on your seasons presentation?
Yes, as well as men and women have seasons. Everyone comes in that season. Some people will come like in the fall time. They'll be there for those 3 to 4 months, and then they move on, and then they come back the next year round at that same time, just as if they've never, skipped a beat. Some people come for a season only for that reason, and we have to be able to recognize and see the reason for that season, and if that season is still supposed to be there. If we need to stay in that season, or should we move on?
Ramatef
So,
Web. Oh, go ahead. But Ramatef Web, you have more of a. Did we miss something that Rod needs to know more about? Needs to know about?
No, I was gonna basically start from the beginning and then work my way up to now. But
Okay.
that
So,
works. That it.
yes. So Rod has the floor.
so the women had a council eons ago, and that council gave us what's known as the gender contract. It's one of the oldest contracts on Earth. The only contract that is still active that's older than that is the mitochondrial inheritance rights to the physical Earth as caretakers. The women needed men to be more masculine and muscular to perform certain functions. And so they decided to allow men to be born on Earth. And from this, we have the gender contract. When I came on, I heard the sister talking about the people with the sex change operation. The reason that they talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, even though they ain't get killed for homosexuality, it was for total corruption, the same as America. But the gender contract at the close of the age is being challenged by a homosexual patriarchal cult. We've been known for thousands or hundreds of years as the Roman Vatican or the Roman Catholic Church, who usurped Big Mama's seat. They can't sit on her seat. So the Pope seat sits beneath Big Mama's seat, because if they sit on her seat, they ruin all of their contracts, because that is a male attempt to usurp the matriarchal right to the earth. And if they sit on her seat, that cancels the contract or the challenge that they would be able to rule better than the matriarchy. So they gave us Plato's Republic, and they gave us the philosophies of Socrates as the foundational undergirding of this homosexual society that they pushed. In the 60s, a group of billionaire homosexuals wanted to normalize homosexuality, and they hired a bunch of military generals to invent something known today as the gay agenda. It was all based on the challenge to the gender contract. And then the men's function is being usurped, because if the men was performing the duties of protecting the women and protecting the children, and let the women raise and teach the children the way it's supposed to be, we can't be conquered, or we can't stay conquered. That's why anybody that's geared toward liberation at the close of an old age and the dawning of a new age, if liberation is the agenda, then they're going to be speaking about raising the matriarchy once again. Because in the written records of Earth, the only time that Earth ran in high civilization for any length of time was under matriarchal rule. All of the dynasties of Egypt was matriarchal. They pronounced the pharaohs as being the ones, but the word pharaoh is indicative of the mitochondrial birthright as the heir to the throne of Big Mama seat on earth. Right? So all these things being concealed, women had rituals to alter the frequency of the earth that couldn't be dispensed with. They have to be continuously practiced, but they got men practicing them under the orders of the Sufi. When women do them, it alters the mitochondrial frequency in the humanities, in all species of human. Everything look human ain't human. And everything that don't look human don't mean it ain't human. Right? So when the frequency of the women, when they start performing their rituals again, then they trigger the earth to send the frequency out to purge itself of what we call counterfeit mitochondria. Right? It was created with a sulfur link instead of a carbon link, in order for to conceal the fact that they was manufacturing humans in a laboratory, right? So as we come up to speed, we see these ancient impressions on humanity come out of the collective memory, and we reenacting this shit all over again. But it's back to every time they call me, I'm only going to restore the matriarchy because it's the only thing that's functional on a feminine planet to maintain harmony and balance throughout the whole of the planet. So the mitochondrial right or inheritance to earth goes to the women, but the women granted men what we know as rulership rights, what they call the code of kings. And kings is made by women with the right of the earth, presenting a son to the other women with the rights to the earth. We call them voodoo priestesses because we don't know no better. But they're all women of wisdom, even if they in the church, the mosque, the synagogue, it don't matter where they at. When the women decide it's time to take over, then they activate me. And everything I do is geared toward restoration of humanity by raising the divine feminine back to prominence. So the women give us the spiritual protection as we roam through the physical world. And yea, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Right? The queen on the chessboard move in a different formulation than the king. And he can only take one step at a time. But the queen be jumping all over that bitch. Right? That's where the power at. The ability to move in places that the king can't. The rook can't. The bishop can't. The knight can't. Right? The pawns can definitely can't unless they can cross the last, what they call cataract. Right? Then they can become a queen. And now you got two queens on the board, you ultimately deadly. Right? So we translate that from the physical world into the 5-dimensional chessboard. And then we look at the picture again and see what we see. Right? So all of the chiefs across the land been selected by the women, the big mamas and the families. We ain't choose ourselves. Anybody chose themselves as a fraud. These sisters choose you. That's why they be telling y'all behind every great man is a great woman. That's called your mitochondrial sponsor to activate your rulership on earth. And if you ain't righteous, your ass gonna burn. They gonna turn the passion up so hard you might spontaneously combust. So your best bet is to bump straight. The Y chromosome is an X chromosome with a portion of it atrophied but it was actually spliced in a laboratory, right? And then they begin to replicate it, right? And now the women can read the signature of the Y chromosome and know how to repair the damage so that the next generation of men can be more functional than the last. But if they don't teach us the old ways of marking a child, right, you end up getting what you get. By what you say out your mouth becomes critical to the developing fetus in the womb, right? So our life is laid out in a series of segments. And this is where she talk about seasons. Some people whole life is to deliver one message to one person one time during one event on one occasion on one damn day. And you might never see them again, but they gave you the most critical piece you can get in that brief encounter. We pass in information in order to help each other realize that this is the game of the gods. And if you don't know the rules to the game, we're going to teach you. And then if you don't play by the rules of the game will turn on you itself. They call that nature taking its course. Right? So when these sisters call me and say, hey, I need you to tell them about something, this is the same as a public notice. I didn't come on my own accord. They called me because they seen the work I was doing in secret just for me, just to make me better than I was. And they say, hey, out of all of the skill sets we see, you look the most qualified. Well, I ain't got a damn degree. Since you can read it in your aura, we don't need it on no paper. Go out there, tell these people what's going on the land, and put this shit back in order. Right? So we find them, and they tell us the part of the puzzle they need us to fix. I got the what they call shit detail. I'm the cleanup man. Normally, they don't have to call me. So I be the lonely shit shoveler in the stalls waiting on my turn. Somebody got to shovel the shit. So if I can't motherfucking move for the crown, I can shovel shit. It ain't about me. I need to do my part. So when we looking at the segments of our life and people coming and going in passing, they flickers on the football field, passing the pieces of the puzzle with playing monkey in the middle. Monkey see, monkey do. If you pay attention, you can catch the little pieces of wisdom that the elders throw over your head. Right? So now we monkey flipping. But the season that everybody come is not always the same. If you too soft, you gonna there's somebody sending a bully your way till you toughen up. If your ego too big, somebody's sending you a narcissist. And they not as many as people be thinking. They think everybody a narcissist. They far and few between. If you run into a real narcissist, believe me, your whole life gonna be in shambles and you're gonna know it in short order. Just because your relationship didn't work out don't mean the other person was a narcissist. It just mean they taught us how to fuck our relationships up real well. Because if we follow the laws of nature, they work normal. Men love women. Women love men. For no reason. Now we can come together on an even playing field in the name of love. Right? So we look at the lost material on the genetic structure in producing the male, and the male want to proclaim himself to be superior. Right? But like Mama told her brother when he told her he was going to take over heaven and earth, if you think that mitochondria don't mean nothing, pap your girds, squat your ass, and push me out of baby. If you can't do that, then go sit your ass down before I turn one of my boys loose on you. I'm number 7. I come in on 10, 11, 10 because they done exhausted 1 through 9 before they called me. Turned down for what? So that's my brief commentary on what the sister brought me up to speed on.
Roman Tough Club, would you like to speak after Rod Hayes for another masculine perspective?
Well, no, I gave mine earlier, but going into that realm, it's very vital that we truly recognize these things. And when he was going on into the breaking off of the or going back into the X and the Y's, I would say that whole X and Y thing is just like, to me, it's like the studies is done, but at the same time, my thing has always been put it in a manner where people can truly see it. If it's shown to us in a certain manner and we apply it, is that what it is? Is there something crazy about this Y and this X? Yeah, it's broken off. But if it's, in my understanding, if it's broken off, then it's something that was made to happen or decreed to happen. And then, like I was saying, it goes back to a lot of different tales or stories that explain that same story of the X and Y, but they've given it in a manner of dealing with witches or the earth itself or basically bacteria and things of that nature.
I think that goes back to the voodoo and hoodoo and how we were um, labeled as witches, warlocks, when all we were doing was protecting and healing our our people. You know, back in I don't want to say long time ago because it wasn't that long ago.
We ain't ever stopped.
Okay, so I I can recall a few years ago where my own, relatives had called me witch, you know, oh, you a witch, you practicing that crazy, and no, it's not that. It's just that
Mm.
I love my people. I love my melanated man. I protect to protect and serve. I know why I was brought here in this realm to protect and serve the man, to make sure that he has what he needs to go on about creating that order from the chaos.
Well, the Y chromosome, the X chromosome, is, you can look at them under a microscope and clearly see the difference in the size. By close examination under the microscope, you can see that something has been altered in what we call the Y chromosome from being the original X. We know that in the first couple of weeks of pregnancy that every seed conceived is born female or first develops female. Because of the mother's chemical interaction with the genetic makeup, she decides to change that child's sex to a male because he has a Y chromosome. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said that the women every generation analyzes the Y to see what's needed. because she have to fill in what's missing from the Y, but it varies from male line of family member to different families, right? So a woman that has a child by two different fathers, these children can look diametrically different, right? But the makeup in them from the mother, it still keeps the chemical bonds between them. They both rested for 9 months in the same first place, right? And that right there, when you teaching family structure, is a critical element of unifying the family. Because the only people that ever slept in your mama womb is you and your siblings, whether you know them or not, right? So the mitochondrial right to rule, that mitochondrial is in the soil. They just give it a different name. It's sync with the women. That's why they pass mitochondria to men, but men don't pass mitochondria nowhere. We are the recipients and beneficiaries of it. And the more a man proves himself righteous, the more women contribute to the increase of the resonance, which gives him his right to rule. This is the whole elements of it, the physiology of men and women being fundamentally different, but men still have functional mammary glands. If you don't think that's possible, look up something called witch's milk. Because if the chemistry is altered, if it's too much estrogen, progesterone in relation to testosterone to the developing child, the male and female child can produce milk from the mammary gland. But we don't need them motherfuckers as men because we're not supposed to breastfeed. That's out of the orders of nature, right? And this is like easy to look up. It's like she got that up now. You can pull up an image of this is the witch's milk right here. You see it say galactoria of the newborn occurs in about 5% of neonates in both sexes. 1, 2, the term witch's milk comes from ancient folklore that fluid leaking from newborns' nipples was a source of nourishment for witches' familiar spirits. 3, galactorrhea is the result of the influence of the mother's hormones on the baby before birth. The mother's hormones can persist in the neonate's body for weeks. Come on now. Come on. So the physiology becomes set at puberty. This is why they attack the children. We're not supposed to teach children about sex when they should be coloring with crayons and painting pictures of flowers. When you deprive that from, you curse that child not to have a childhood, and now they become an adult looking for a childhood, talking about a pedophile in the making.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Before we continue, we have another masculine energy, a male, here on the panel. And at this time, I will have him announce himself. Gratitude, welcome again to Karmic Dynasty. And honor.
I shook. Robert, greetings, namaste, shalom. You know, I'm just here in student mode, to be honest. I see the brother Rod Hayes, and I see Karmic Dynasty, the host. So I'm just here listening to y'all. I'll be happy to. I will be happy to contribute. But you know, I'm amongst the elders right now, so I'm just gonna shut up.
You just as valid as anybody else, brother.
I shook. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
That's why he's here, and I tell him that every time.
I
I
appreciate that.
appreciate you, Rod Hayes, for saying that.
Yeah, I
Yes,
appreciate that.
Yeah. We don't do big eyes and little U's in my clan.
that's right.
I shook. I respect your tribe. I shook. I respect your tribe.
So ain't nobody more important than nobody else. We just all had different roles to play. As long as we play our position, that's what make the playing field level. That's how we help each other progress and move forward and break down them barriers of dissension and start building unity. Because my mama told me, you don't owe a motherfucker nothing, but you better show bleed on a motherfucker owe your ass nothing either.
But you know
Keep it
what?
that way.
I will say this. It's interesting that I came in and it sounds to me y'all talking about gender and sex. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
There's a great movie that y'all should check out, and it's a sleeper. It's called Immortel. Not the one, not the one that came out, not the Hollywood one that came out in the movies, but this was a European movie. Long story short, in this movie, it's about the god Heru. He needs to have a child, but he's a god, so he's in this etheric form, right? He comes to Earth, and he needs to have a child by a certain woman. Now in the movie, most humans have been genetically modified to the point where most humans cannot give birth to a star child. Much like what's going on right now, if you look at plastic surgery and all that. But long story short, so Heru has to come to Earth, right, and find a woman to have sex with, a compatible woman, so that she can bear his child. So I find it interesting that I came in on that subject you guys are talking about, and the importance of that divine masculine star seed, right? And the importance of the feminine to get their body together so they be capable of having this next generation of children that's coming down to the planet. And I yield on that. But it's called Immortal. I'm gonna send you the link to it so you can check it out. It's on YouTube, I think. It's on YouTube. And
Is this it?
huh?
Is this it?
The one on
Do
the
you
left
see?
with the white girl on the left, on the far left,
Mm-hmm.
on the far left. Yeah, go check that out. That's a deep movie. And that's a European movie. We understand that the European movies are much deeper than the American made movies.
Yeah, they have the penchant of telling more of what's concealed from us over here in the open over there. When I was reading European history books, it was blowing my mind how much it was given away to what was really relative to what's taking place over here. Like, they history books pretty much tell you that they clicked up and ransacked us over here. And we ain't never seen them come until it was too late.
Hmm. That's
That,
interesting.
yeah, that's very true. Very true.
We thought because they looked like us, they could be trusted. If I'd have been here back then, I'd have told them just kill them some bitches. They can't be trusted.
Yeah, to
Rod, did I have you spoken on tryptophan? Okay. Um
You probably
turkey,
heard me talking about the,
rituals.
yeah. So the ritual of the turkey is the harvest turkey fest in the honoring of the new chief by Big Mama. She used to cook the new chief a turkey, and the custom was to carve the turkey up and pass it to his immediate clan first, and then everybody else eat from the buffet. And this is where the origin of Thanksgiving came from. And I was talking about tryptophan because it's an amino acid in the turkey that causes you to fall into a sleeping pills now. Well, when they came, they brought their fire water. We brought our peace pipe. We got drunk, smoked the herbs, ate a bunch of tryptophan, and went to sleep. And Black Friday, they slaughtered us. And that was the Pequot tribe. Yep. Tryptophan is just a sleeping pill. That's the chemical structure. When you see the L, all of the amino acids have L in front of them. It's for like lipozyme or something like that. Yep. When you having problems sleeping, they give you those. You know, a lot of people just eat a bunch of turkey, but I eat too much turkey sometimes. But the tryptophan was a contributing factor when it was mixed with that fire water that we wasn't used to. And then we were smoking the herbs as we always do. See, they spray chemicals on the tobacco because they know that we use the nicotine as a neural stimulant. People used to smoke from the age of 5 to 95 and never get lung cancer. Now all of a sudden that shit is at an alarming rate. They knew it was part of our culture. So everything that's culturally embedded in our DNA, they attacked it as a means of warring against us, right? They banned marijuana because they say we get high and go on the sexual frenzy raping white women. And that was sponsored by DuPont. They didn't want us smoking the herb because if we were smoking the herb all this time instead of drinking that fire water, we wouldn't be in this condition because we'd have been able to communicate because it's known to enhance our psychic connection between each other and make us human lie detectors. We wouldn't even negotiate with nobody if they didn't smoke the peace pipe with us because they can't lie to us smoking the peace pipe without us knowing it. That's why it's called the peace pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the truth on the flow and keep the BS to a minimum. That's why they start saying pale face speak with forked tongue. Start smoking them herbs and he tell them, I'm not speaking for me. So they paint themselves up in blackface, but they wear white gloves. The white glove is the reverse of the black hand. The black hand was the black hand under the KKK robe that came from Barcelona, Spain, is known over there as the Black Brotherhood, but over here, it's known as the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, chartered by the Catholic Church to raise hell on the land. The black hand used to lead the raid.
Can you expand on that, please? The Ku Klux Klan being not white. A lot of people think that they were
This
started by. If you will, please.
it was the whole regalia, the clothing and garments that was all brought over here by the Moors. If you read early Moorish or Masonic literature from the early 1900s, you'll see that the Klan was already a secret society way before they so-called chartered the Klan, right? And it really mean the Knights of the Circle of the Round Table. That's what Ku Klux Klan mean. In the Circle of the Round Table was the Moorish Order of the Round Table. So when you look them up, in English, I can't remember the Spanish pronunciation, but in English it translates as the Black Brotherhood of Spain. And you look them up, they still was the same shit. And when our ancestors used to tell us about a black hand, the most feared thing in the South was the black hand. We got pictures from the 1800s and 1900s of white robes with black hands hanging from under them. This is all this stuff is posted on my Instagram and Facebook. I've been saying it's been showing the receipts for all of the stuff that I'm telling y'all for 5 years now. Right? The grand deception now is what they call a nationality. You can't be a national unless you first a straw man. Because a national is a citizen. But to assume your citizenship, notice the word ship, because you're attaching yourself to admiralty law. And under admiralty law, a citizen is anybody under the jurisdiction of the ship whose flag is flying, right? And the flag that's flying is an admiralty flag that we had to replace. You'll see that done on January 6, 2000, when one of the pale faces that was trained by one of the chiefs on the land staked the Republic flag, the one with no fringe, behind Pelosi's desk. That's what the big deal about January the 6th was, because it was replacing the Admiralty jurisdiction with the jurisdiction of the land, which is going to end up reverting all the way back to the Iroquois Confederacy and the canceling of the contract due to all of the frauds. None of them had proper charter to function over here. Right? They was all operating in a de facto capacity, an assumed jurisdiction by interim government. If you want to see how it played out, all you got to do is do the research on Muhammad Karzai, because they did the same thing in the Middle East after the Gulf War. They put him in there as the interim president, the same as George Washington, who was Albert Pike. They put in office over here. But that was all on paper. The real republic was usurped by a secondary constitution written in the blood of Crispus Attucus. And that's the charter one that they operate under as a corporation. We not operating as a government. So those who telling you to become a nationalization is court, they slave catching and don't know it. Or some of them know it.
Thank you.
And that goes back to Feathers versus Fezes. He was a chief, first blood in the war. And because they wrote it in a book that they bound us to in 1619, what we call the biblical contract, no blood of the righteous shall be spilled in vain. Now we got to honor and fulfill the contract for 200 years. It's known as the George Washington Challenge. At the end of 200 years, we ain't supposed to know if we from Africa or America. Bullshit, I'm walking Mississippi clay dirt. That I'm from the land, I am the land. I'm just breathing breath as a human body, but I'm Mississippi clay dirt walking. Organic to this motherfucker. Sprung from the land like a tree. My bloodline did. That's how long we've been here. We've been here so long it wasn't no here till we built it. That's how long we've been here. So I don't know who these Johnny come latelys is talking about we from Africa. We don't got no problem with the people from over there. Them people ain't did nothing to us. It's them other niggas. We call them Negropeans. Came over here pretending to be our friends. Married Big Mama poison and then act like the butler while he got pale faces acting like massa. And now you know why they didn't like house niggas. Because he owned the house.
Mm-hmm.
Took Big Mama name off of it. Like we wasn't going to figure it out.
Facts. That goes back to what this build is about. Getting back to where we supposed to be at. You know, putting Big Mama back first. Let's put it that way. Taking it back to the land. We as the matriarchs giving authority to our patriarchs to go out there and do what's necessary. Go clean up. Here are your orders. Bring order from that chaos that's out there. From chaos comes order. And that's written on their dollar bill, you know, Novus Ordo Seclorum. So it is what it is. Again, though, like you were saying before, the big X's and the little Y's now.
That's because it's an algebra problem. The unknown variable in algebra is an X or a Y. The unknown variable is how to find balance between divine masculine and divine feminine. You born with the mission as a man to figure it out. And the women is born learning how to coach you to figure it out. That's why they say women develop faster than men. Because they the ones that got to lead us in energy so that we can lead other men by deed and action. Right? So the sister was talking about earlier being called witches, voodoo. Those weren't negative terms. They was given a negative connotation by self-righteous people in religions in order to prevent us from practicing our culture. What they branded as voodoo was just the science to how we bring balance back to nature by balancing ourselves to nature. The bigger the conjure, the longer it takes. Right? So when you trying to restructure the entirety across the land, that shit gonna take a couple years. That ain't gonna happen in no 2-3 weeks. Though I wish it would have, because I could have been done with this shit. Right? The witch literally mean wise woman. What's wrong with being a wise woman? Right? A warlock is not even the name of an individual. It's a condition created when two people go to war using the conjure. When you're in a warlock, you're not allowed to access the coffers of the wealth of the women. This is why they using monopoly money. This is why they're not supposed to trade in none of the mineral wealth of the Americas. We was in a warlock. If that was the case, if we was allowed to freely trade in our wealth, shit, Haiti would be one of the richest lands over here instead of the poorest. Right? So all they can do is stockpile it, catalog it, and tell them how much it's worth. When Haiti get their act together, they got to get paid out first. Because the way they got their text written, the last shall be made first, and the first should be made last. And Haiti did last in wealth, but they deepest in culture. Right? So if they fall back to their native culture in their traditional oral ways, they can oust the imposters. They already doing it physically. But once they do it spiritually, it's a wrap. They got to turn it around. They still riding war conjure, but the conjure closed. But they got to ride it until they can feel the energy shift. And the women down there already know what's going on.
That's true.
So with all the masculine energy that we have here, what solution can we come up with to, what solution can you all give to me, first of all, as one of the matriarchs here, to be able to reach out to the males in the tribe to get more protection for them? What can I do to offer more protection?
I think that the point we at now, if the women start raising the frequency of their mitochondria in sister groups, the men gonna follow because the energy calls us up to raise our level. And the ones who refuse to do the work, when the frequency of the Schumann resonance go out to turn off all of those who don't do the work, they just gonna get turned off. And it won't be nothing personal. It'll be because if you don't want to do the work, then you can't stay in the field blocking other people from performing the job. Right? So the biggest deal right now is sisters having conversations with themselves, amongst themselves, about raising their mitochondrial frequency, cleaning the filters in their body, you know, taking the children and setting up sister teaching teams so the ones who have to go out and earn a living can pay the ones stay at home teaching so everybody can work together because the school shit finna be a disaster and nobody don't see it coming. But they already given us all of the indications that a major event is about to happen. I don't know what it is, but I know it ain't good. Because on their way out, they want to cause as much chaos as possible. And this is why the sisters say from chaos comes order. It's the contract of the dollar bill. The dollar bill itself reveals a contract on its face. We've been passing this instrument that's a contract between the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury, never knowing it ain't had nothing to do with us. They money had nothing to do with us. They hold they legendary outlaws that they hold so near and dear to their culture. All they was doing was robbing the family banks, forcing them into what they call FDIC protection later on, where the banks fall under a central banking cartel that can protect you from the outlaws. Bullshit. The banking cartel is the Federal Reserve. It's a book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman that tell you almost the extremes they'll go. It don't go all the way, but it give you a clear enough picture to understand that that's far enough. Can you pull that book up so they can see it? Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
Working on it now.
This tell you how they go in, upset governments economically, and use economics as a weapon to take over countries all over the world. Banks do this, not militaries. They even made it into a movie for those who don't like to read, because, you know, they tell us in movies all the dirt they do anyway.
Right. They have to put everything in
And
front of our face.
right. So most of the reason why they can get away with it is because they tell us it's just fiction.
Facts, facts. They give us that impression of this is just a movie.
Just a
Um,
movie.
Fiction, yeah, like you said, and come watch this movie, laugh at it, not realizing that it's all truth.
Look, L. Ron Hubbard wrote a series of sci-fi books. It's the whole Anunnaki story, and we think it's just science fiction. It's just told from a person that's downloading a psychic impression of it versus somebody who was reading the Numa Elish or the Epic of Gilgamesh. But he's telling the same story. John Travolta played Inky in one of the movies he did based on one of L. Ron Hubbard's sci-fi books. But he was acting more like Enlil. So when you realize that Dianetics is one of the baddest books you could ever read to understand how your mind works, you will wonder how in the hell do a sci-fi writer even know this shit? It's just a sci-fi writer. But it's clear cut when you read Dianetics, that's the most important book he ever wrote. The rest of that shit garbage. Scientology was just set up to protect the pale-faced celebrities from the Jewish Defense League who was extorting them and killing all of the entertainers until they got to extracting them. Yeah, that's the movie with John Travolta right there.
Oh, that's Battlefield Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of it. I've been trying to find the name of it for 3 years because I've been telling people about it. But I couldn't remember the name of the movie because I seen it like years ago, and I was trying to remember the name of it. I forgot. I even started searching John Travolta's filmography looking for it. Battlefield Earth. Yep.
Again, they put it right in our face as fiction.
Just a movie.
Yeah, it's just a movie. There's no truth in it.
Yeah, like The Matrix is just a movie. Look at the lady name they stole it from. Her name is Sophia Stewart. What is a steward? It's a bookkeeper. Who is Sophia? Sophia is the wisdom of the mother incarnate in the also known as the Ein Sof in mysticism at the top of the Kabbalistic tree of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got a chance to speak to Sophia Stewart. You know, we were texting back and forth. And long story short, she told me that the Matrix was never supposed to be an illusion. The Matrix, the Matrix being an illusion, that was the Hollywood's interpretation or demonization. You know what I'm saying, of the information in her book. The
Mm-hmm.
Matrix, according to what she wrote, was supposed to be about black leadership, and it had nothing to do with no illusion. That's the Hollywood shit that they brought up. So now everybody in the conscious community talking about, oh, this is the Matrix, it's an illusion, not understanding the original definition on what Sophia Stewart said the Matrix was.
Mm-hmm.
There she go. Yeah, there she go.
So if you look up a book called Cracking the Code, and they have all of the streamers like the Matrix. It's called Cracking the Code, and it's about they use the analogy of the Wizard of Oz, and it explains this, how Wizard of Oz is the layover. Like the Tin Man is the tax ID number, the Straw Man is your straw man capacity. Um, they go through all of it, tell you what they all mean, and they show it to you in law. The thing was, I found out because I followed up on all of the legal research in the law library because I had time because I was locked down doing nothing else. But to track this information down, and I discovered that the reason why it won't never work because they don't honor what they say. They don't honor none of the laws that they want you to follow. Right? They put laws against pedophilia while they raping babies. They put laws against rape while they raping women. Laws against human trafficking and kidnapping, but they kidnapping and trafficking in humans. They told you they outlaw slavery, but they practice slavery on a day-to-day basis. You can go to any prison to see somebody working for $1 a day. Right? And when you find out that the word emancipation just means transferring from one domain to another, you will realize that they just transferred the ownership of the slaves from private individuals to the public domain of the corporation. And then they put all of us in slavery. The chocolate ones and the vanilla ones. The chili beans and the motherfucking burritos. All of us together. The slimy, greasy biker and the thugged out nigga on the corner. We all in the same motherfucking boat. And somebody was going to sooner or later perceive the reality that they've been using us against each other so that they can hold on to power. And that's going to be the end of their game. I got a few more minutes, y'all, then I'm gonna have to go. I got because these babies get up early. I can't hang.
Yes, that's expected. We had planned to be here an hour, but as we all know in Karmic Dynasty, we're here unscripted, so we run over some time. And we've had definitely and I've experienced an honorable moment. This to me is all one moment. Having you here on the panel and hearing your voice, unbothered, unfiltered, and unscripted. And as always, you are here. Welcome to the Karmic Dynasty platform, and the audience welcomes you as well.
I appreciate y'all for having me. I always appreciate because don't nobody have to take their time out to be bothered if they don't want to. So for where I'm from, if somebody take their time out and they want to be bothered with you, that means that y'all on the same frequency. So I appreciate that.
Right. Thank you for that. Thank you for inviting me, Joy. I appreciate you.
Of
Appreciate you,
course,
Rod,
always.
for all the knowledge you dropping. I've been watching you. You know what I'm saying for a little while, so I appreciate you.
So you ought to know Malachi is one of the master teachers I studied under.
Yes, he
Yeah,
knows. I promise you, he knows.
yeah. I've been watching. I've been watching y'all, seeing who's who on the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yep, I had to tie a whole lot of strings together. He put me on there with Young Elder, told me to do some open classes with the Young Elder by on the Wind Talker channel. I'm like, I don't know no mother named Young Elder. So I just told the people, I say, Malachi want me to teach some classes with Young Elder. Then he got in touch with me and we've been cracking everything.
Sun Ra, have you been on the Young Elder platform? Sun Ra. Okay, his audio's messed up. Something. I think so. But yes, Ra, definitely, gratitude. Appreciate you being here. If you would share any closing thoughts and or remarks you would like to have the audience know before you leave.
All I can tell y'all is that it'd be a good idea for any parent that's watching what's going on to take your children out of these folks' public brainwashing camps. Because what they got planned, it doesn't look good. That's that's the big deal right there.
And those words for Rod from Rod for now. We're going to transition into our commercial space time, and we're going to start this space with the unschool guide. This is actually my filter, so I'm going to move my what you call it flyer, my filter flyer. Reed L has one as well. Now the unschool guide we published, authored it, published it, all that good stuff. This is the back cover on your left, and on the right is the cover, the front cover. We put this together, took us about a year to scribe it, and it was released last year. It is still available. Of course, order your copy today. For more information, you will be able to contact myself or Reed L for more information.
That's called a synchronicity right there. Because I ain't had no way of knowing about that until just now.
Oh, well, yes, we have it available in the PDF version and the physical version. Hold on, the PDF, yeah, ebook and the physical book. And yeah, so much more to say about that. So yeah, that Reed L, would you like to speak on that publication? As we don't have a flyer right
Certainly.
now.
I do happen to have one available.
And
I know
since
you.
then, we've definitely developed and established our homeschool co-op. But Reed L's going to share more on that now. But Rod,
Yes.
anytime you need to leave, again, we appreciate you being here, and we know why you left, and we thank you for being here either way.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me. And I didn't even know I was coming, so it was a pleasant surprise.
Yes.
Major gratitude because I didn't know you were going to make it as well. So much appreciation for that. Uh,
Mhm.
we are a homeschooling co-op. Work from we are connected here in Detroit, in the Metro Detroit area, as well as to the Indianapolis area, as well as to Philadelphia. We have New York, North Carolina connections,
Pittsburgh,
California, Pittsburgh, South Carolina, Atlanta.
Virginia.
We are connected across Turtle Island, as I like to refer to this land mass of ours. Uh,
Arizona,
yeah, Arizona, gee whiz,
Los Angeles,
name it. From the halls of Montezuma to the walls of Tripoli, we are connected in the homeschooling co-op, the unschooling evolution, unlearn to relearn. That is our motto. You don't have to subscribe to how we scribe. Find your own path. Our guide is just that. It's only a guide for you to be able to start. It gives you a start. And then from there, you also have connections with us as scribes and a homeschooling co op, actually, a road schooling co op, because we travel between the different states, meeting with each other and interacting with our children and doing so much in the community. Again, I do want to make sure that everybody subscribes to the different platforms that we are streaming to. Thank you to the male energy that brought forth so much good knowledge and wisdom for everyone to pay attention to. And we do hope that you did get something from it, if not, but a seed to start to plant. And maybe you got some water from someone else. Cultivate it. Um, I appreciate everyone for tuning in this evening. I appreciate Chief Pontiac for joining us. I appreciate Ma'at Raya for joining us. Without our patriarchs, we matriarchs are non existent. Just as there is no good without acknowledgement of bad, there is no up without acknowledgement of down, there's no acknowledgement of left without right. So, therefore, we cannot be one without the other. Gratitude to all.
All right. So also definitely glad Sun Ra was here. He is known as the movie
Guru.
guru of the Karmic Dynasty platform, along with our own Ramatef Web. Now I am about to
Astrology
go
extraordinaire.
on. What you say?
I said astrology extraordinaire.
Okay, what is he not? What is he not? Ramatef Web. Um, I there's much more on our main topic that we were coming to the platform to discuss, and we will very easily create a series, definitely a part two. The presence of the men here on this unscripted platform took precedence over what our guided conversation would have been for this evening.
Mhm.
Ramutef Quep, would you like to speak before I go into my commercial rant this evening? Because I got some people to cuss out.
No doubt, no doubt. No, what I was gonna say, I was gonna refer to um Bree's question when it comes to, like, a starting point. The the funny part about this is, like, it's like a recurring cycle right now. So originally, It was some years back. I forgot what it was called on the platform, but that was my first interaction with a lot of the feminine that came through because of what I
The
was.
memoirs of the matriarchs.
I think so. It was
Mhm.
basically it was the one like the cover photo is the ceremonial scene from Black Panther. If anybody want to have a understanding of a
Oh,
start,
I am my sister's keeper.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
it's on my sister's
that
keeper.
series.
Yep. If people want to get an idea or a start, I would recommend them going on Comic Dynasty platform and truly watching, because then you're going to come to now and see where it's at from that day, and the push that happened, and then from the unschooling to the understanding that what is really needed to happen started, well, from my count, it really started on that day. And it just me just speaking on like how much of an influence. And it's like, the whole, it's just a movie. I love that. I love when people say that. I love it because it's
So were
it's
you right quick, Mo? While you talking about the movie, were you talking about the colors of
yeah,
the
I was
in this
talking
thing right here?
yeah, I was talking about the colors and the representation of the
Mhm.
roles that were being played between all of the tribes, and then just showing, speaking on a couple of things, and then brought Oya's present as well while we were discussing it. But yeah, that would be a start. But the my closing remarks on everything is just that it's very, and I would say it again, it's very vital that people really understand what we're talking about. And then on top of that, for their own particular realm, our realms together are uniting somehow. And it's pretty interesting where it's moving. However, this particular push that the brother was speaking on Chief Pontiac was speaking on, if you refer back to the video, there's a lot of things that are truly just right in front of our faces, and we're really not paying attention. And then the reason for it is because we're given a lot of other distractions to not realize that there's going to be a huge change very soon. And then, as me being an astrologer, I've been saying it for for a very long time, is, once this particular alignment starts to happen, we're going to everything that we used to hold dear or learned or adapted to is going to be no longer. But yeah, my advice is to start from the basics and understand what is needed at this present moment.
All right. So are you gonna be here with us for a moment, or are you sharing your departures right now?
No, I'll be right here.
Riedel, do you have anything you'd like to share before I go on my commercial rant?
Nope, I'm gonna let you do your rant because I'm pretty sure I already have an idea of what this rant is about. I'm gonna set my neck back.
All right. So Ramotef has transitioned me easily into the seat that I am in at this time. I came here in my ASHRAM of ISHRAM capacity today because in that capacity, I am my total self while in this avatar, as I know her now. Ramotef has provided you all, if you're not already familiar, a lead in to the promise of karmic dynasty. I have heard much of the children today on this panel from people who are not familiar with the all of karmic dynasty, which started out as the memoirs of a karmic dynasty. Early in my platform walk, I discussed and told the adults clearly, without hesitation, to their face in person, that karmic dynasty one day will stop talking to y'all. Because y'all get in a capacity where you want to do the same old mundane ass bullshit all damn day, every day. You have no phases, no patterns other than bullshit. Now, I know here on Karmic Dynasty, I've had my phases of cussing out people. I've had my phases of exposing people. I've had my phases, and that all was the foundation of letting everyone who had yet to set their eyes on me in this platform to know that I'm not the one to be played with. I will call your ass out. I will put your face up on this goddamn screen. I will put your name up here, your address, your phone number, your social media pages, your social media, whatever. I will share emails on your ass. I will share voicemails on your ass. Karmic Dynasty does not play. And I very early in my platform walk seeing that some of y'all like to fucking play. Where the hell did my like to fucking play? I'm not here to play. Somebody better go study what an ASHRAM is. I'm not here to play with y'all. So very early on, I said I'm dropping y'all and I'm focusing solely on these children. Now, anyone familiar with, let's not even go here right now. Because before there was a moon fox, there was a Lulu, an Empress Lulu. Then furthermore known as the Guacamole Empress. My firstborn granddaughter has made her appearance on here, and she has grown on this screen, your device. She's grown here on this platform. She's developed and working on her own platform. She has her own website, her own store, which is a place where young entrepreneurs meet to sell their products and exhibit their skills. So I am making true and full to the form my promise to focus on the children. But before we get to her logo, because be in the midst of Lulu coming to the screen and the Moon Fox shop, there was a young man who appeared on Karmic Dynasty, known here as KingTheSwimmer. I have sat in my capacity and swore that I will shut this shit down. I don't care the amount of support I've received on this platform, the amount of things people gave me, wanted to give me. I didn't need your support. The children need your support. So, speaking of cycles and men in their patterns, as we discussed too, some of y'all women, we got our patterns and seasons too. And I turned all y'all's gifts and tributes and donations away. I no longer wear the jewelry that y'all once adored. I no longer carry the fiat currency that you would deposit into my Cash App or my PayPal or my Zelle account or cash in my hand. I come here simply adorned, and this is the capacity I will hold until everyone supports the children as Karmic Dynasty sees fit. Which means right now, I know there are children. They all need something. They all need something to continue them on their path of excellence. So, I know as I shut my platform down to uphold and support the platform of the children, which is right now the Moon Fox Shop associated with Karmic Dynasty. The Moon Fox list KingTheSwimmer's story in brief. Actually, there's a whole audio of him speaking for himself. And we share it. He has 2 products listed on that platform. He also just recently rebranded his logo. To see this young man and to know of the things he goes through recently, the uploads to his Instagram, him publicly speaking for himself, he needs $1,500 to continue the support of his swimming career. He will be at the Olympic trials next year, hosted in Indianapolis, Indiana. And then he will be continuing on to Paris. Now, I'm going to need us to get it together. I need to know, like ASAP, or I got things I will come up here and cuss y'all out frequently. Now, I know that some of y'all like to be entertained by getting cussed out. Some of y'all like to fucking be entertained because there is drama on the screen. I've not brought no real drama to this screen in a long time because I'm not here to entertain y'all. And I done said that many a times and I had to make it real. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to be whatever character you identify me as. I am here as me. I need people to donate to KingTheSwimmer's Cash App. And I typed that up. I actually must have typed because we are streaming live. We are streaming live on the Karmic Dynasty platforms this evening and Cherie Reed L. and the Joy ASHRAM platforms. So with my own, I meant to sit this me right here. This me talking. But his money is coming into his Cash App. So the time I've been absent from this screen, it's been about at least 3 months, 2-3 months. I've not been here. I've been behind the scenes helping support the children. Because what I said I was going to do. The only reason I'm here tonight is because of the children. Because apparently when the children come on the screen, y'all think shit is cute. Oh, it's playtime. When children come on the screen, this ain't no goddamn Sesame Street over here. And it sure to hell ain't Gracie's Corner. Because these days, Gracie's Corner, it identifies with some stuff we talking about today. Them men, fallen angels that want to shortcut and cut the line and put on dresses and wigs and women's shoes and women's perfume and women's makeup. I would say all that geared towards what a woman is supposed to look like. None of that is what we look like. None of that's what we look like. at all. My issue is behind the scenes, I've not seen the support for these children I thought that they should receive. But I know as long as I was up here cussing out people like I am now, oh, y'all was good for sending me jewelry. Y'all was good for sending me Cash App. Y'all was good for paying for my hotel stays when I was on my lecture tour and on the road traveling. Y'all's good for taking me out to eat. Y'all good for getting me car rentals. Y'all's good for a whole, want to buy me some clothes, want to buy me some shoes. Y'all's good. I'm checking something here, checking sound. Ridiculous. What's wrong, people? What is wrong? Did somebody yet hit up KingTheSwimmer's Cash App, or y'all still sitting here being entertained by what I'm talking about? Cash App still on the screen. Nobody has $1. Y'all ain't got no goddamn dollar. Hold on. Y'all got $1 because y'all gonna be a Dairy Queen tomorrow getting an 85-cent blizzard. Then do what with your change? Put it towards your next 85-cent blizzard at Dairy Queen. Nobody got $2? Y'all know what? But as soon as KingTheSwimmer is at the Olympics, then y'all all want to find a place to tune in and view it. Then you want to look at him. You want to watch a child stroke. Rod Hayes was just on here talking about laws and what laws ain't being fulfilled, and these adults raping children. Y'all is raping the system. You're gonna watch you're gonna know you ain't watched it, because how dare you have watched it and you didn't contribute to his Cash App. But being here, because I'm telling you, the struggle for this young man is unacceptable. Y'all are supposed to be taking care of our children. We are supposed to be taking care of our children. There is no reason. Because he already appears on the Moonfox shop. He done already rebranded his logo, and he's working on more products to sell to bring awareness to his efforts for Olympic gold. What y'all think we making this up? You think this shit ain't real? You been to his Instagram page? Have you checked him out in the Moonfox shop? Has any of y'all contributed towards gas money to get him to practice? Have any of y'all contributed groceries or some money towards a grocery bill to feed this young man? But soon as he get on the TV, major networks, ESPN, as an Olympic participant, then y'all want to go tune in? Serious. And then when he has his interviews and talks about his story and how he got to Olympic gold, y'all want to tune in and hear the damn story. I'm telling you the story now. How dare you wait until he hit a major network and then want to be a part? The part is now. Your role is now. Your part and role is actually expired. You should have been done had this young man what he needs. I put my platform on the line, sacrifice it, talk about on the altar. I put this platform on the altar. I put all y'all's gifts, y'all's monies, y'all's trinkets, y'all's tributes, your shits. I didn't want your shit. Because record will show a good deal of that shit y'all passed by me became the heck out and went towards KingTheSwimmer. I recycled y'all shit in a form that benefits him. Took all y'all fuck energy. I reharnessed it. I readdressed it. And I took it that way to him and his momager. What is y'all doing? What is wrong? I'm going to tell you what's wrong. What's wrong is we have discussed this evening the enemy, the skin folk that's not our kinfolk. That's who you are. And I stand on that. You watching me and you ain't never heard of KingTheSwimmer, you ain't contributing to this cash app, you ain't supposed to be here. I see your shit in the comments, I'm blocking you. You're not wanted around here. I've all put out when people, I went as far as when people contributed money, I had to come to the platform and ask for some damn money for KingTheSwimmer. And everybody who donated, I doubled their donation and gave it back to them in the form of groceries. As a message that when you give, you will receive in return. Didn't the Bible didn't teach you that? We started out today's show. I started out with a reference to the Bible. Your Bible didn't teach you that? Reap what you sow. What is you reaping? What is you sowing? I'm not trying to hear y'all's issues. That's why I don't talk to half of none of y'all no more. People can't contact me like they used to. I don't come up here and share y'all concerns like the fuck I used to. I don't. I haven't, I'm not. I'm not. I don't got nothing to say to y'all. That's why y'all can't call me. That's why y'all blocked on my Facebook. That's why you can't see my messages. That's why you don't see me on YouTube. That's why. Because I don't got time. I'm not messing with y'all. Y'all is done to me. It's over. Speaking of patterns, cycles, and all this shit, y'all, you trash. To me, you trash. You gone. Recycle your ass and put in a greater form of energy, greater than your ass. And KingTheSwimmer gonna be where he's supposed to be, regardless of your minus ass. Regardless of your minus ass, KingTheSwimmer gonna be where he's supposed to be in life. Because your energy gonna be replaced. As I spoke of earlier, these phases and cycles, motherfuckers want to come in your space. You ain't got to accept that shit. Switch up the goddamn energy and get their ass out your goddamn space and let that energy that's productive and creative instead in this place. Now, I sense, I feel I need to throw out some more trash around here. I need to block some more people, and I need to finish my rant as long as necessary in my karmic dynasty, whatever capacity I fucking feel like coming up here in. And then when I'm done, I will have my energy to put towards the children in the capacity of where they are comfortable expressing themselves on a platform live. In the meantime, the Moonfox shop continues. It's not going anywhere. It will right now be in this state of pre-recorded videos like how it started. The live videos will return when my energy has renewed because I've taken out additional trash. Y'all's trash. You know, fuck y'all's trash. $1,500 is nothing. Because I know the amounts of tributes, donations, and trinkets and bullshit I was receiving from people ain't even ask y'all for a goddamn thing. For nothing. Motherfuckers come to my events and eat free. You get in free. You take part for free. Y'all do. Who said then your punk ass ain't been in one of my events and you won't be at none never. Sometimes I even take care of your room and board, depending on who you are. All you guys do is get there. Sometimes I even help you get there and get back home. I ask y'all for shit, but to come take part and get these children where they need to be. That's why your ass fucked up now, because somebody help you get to where you need to be. And you ain't hearing me. You ain't hearing my message to get your ass right. Shame asses. You ain't hearing me right now to get your ass right, are you? You don't hear me. You don't see me. You don't nothing me. So why is you who I'm talking to then? Why I'm looking at these viewer numbers? I'm looking at numbers. I see y'all in the studio. Somebody's watching me. I don't see no comments. So right now y'all being entertained, huh? I'm entertaining y'all. That's all right, because I'm blocking y'all asses too. I know who in here. You getting blocked. Ain't nobody. I seen a dollar challenge come up. That's the challenge. Ain't nobody got it. I know, and on the playback too. On the damn playback too. I know who watching. I know enough. And I know the people that watching don't say nothing. I know y'all too. So you getting blocked. You getting blocked. Your ass been blocked. You went through a whole nother account just to fucking come up here and watch me today because you seen a goddamn announcement that I was gonna be up here. Terrible. Fuck wrong with y'all. Oh, Karmic Dynasty. And it's a whole picture of a woman. Because lately she been having all that little kid shit on her platform. She got a hold up. This ain't no Moonfox stuff right here. This ain't that little girl stuff right here. Karmic Dynasty coming back to the. She coming. Oh, I need to tune in. Because I'm a whole hater. And or I'm a fucking follower. And or I just like to copy her ass, see what the fuck she doing. And or I like to go back to my little childish ass group and fucking talk about her and what the fuck she doing. Bitch, what the fuck is you doing? What child is you teaching? Where your children at? Where your children at? The fuck is you teaching? Where the ones you teaching? Where the ones you teaching? Hold on. Where the children you teaching? Where the children you teaching? They with who? Okay. Where's the children you teaching? Y'all want some entertainment? Watch Joy cut the fuck. Joy act the goddamn. Watch how many times Joy say a cuss word. Watch how many times Joy do some shit that I didn't think Joy was gonna do. Watch how many times Joy sit here and call us fuck asses and block one more of us motherfuckers that'll be crying when they find out they fucking block and can't reach her on the goddamn anywhere. Y'all's entertainment. That's what y'all like. In the meantime, there's a child doing apparently what us adults can't do because he done hit the streets for himself to get $1,500 so he can finish swimming. So he can be in the Olympics next year, the trials and the Olympics. He don't got time for y'all goddamn when you got your goddamn handout. There are no handouts. There is an exchange of energy. And if you're not exchanging with us, then you are not welcome to take part in our energy. So I'm here by myself this evening to face y'all because y'all is not going to be a part of the us. You're not allowed. You're not accepted. You're unacceptable. And again, you're actually expired. Your ass is late. You should have been on board. I shouldn't have had to return to my Karmic Dynasty platform and bring in a topic to come to y'all asses just to get y'all all here to ask you for some money for KingTheSwimmer. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Fuck is wrong with y'all? What's wrong with you? It's personal. Keep that to yourself. Stay the fuck off my platform. Go take your ass somewhere else where they entertain you, where the goddamn subscriptions is high. where the goddamn cash rolls the fuck in, and they got what to say for the children though. They doing what for the children though? Y'all lame asses. No Karmic Dynasty platform or the Moon Fox Shop, which is an extension of Karmic Dynasty. You are not allowed to any of the upcoming events. Don't ask. Everything's invite only. So we're going to be up here discussing it. And you can't be a part of it. It just is. You don't got no invite because your ass is unacceptable in our realm. You're unacceptable. There was a time when that was sad to me. I would cry a tear for y'all motherfuckers. I don't got shit for y'all, but this commercial rant right now. I have not shit for y'all asses. So as my channel continues to go through its phases, I don't have any issues with my public views hitting in the single digits. I don't care if subscribers. I don't care if I ain't got no goddamn subscribers. The real of me and what I do is not on this goddamn screen. So y'all ain't even getting a whole goddamn story anyway. And that's where y'all go to y'all little functions and your little meetings and your little phone calls and you make fill in the fucking gaps. Fuck y'all. Fuck you. Fuck your friend. Fuck that motherfucker that listen to you, help you fill in the gaps with full of lies. Because instead of y'all, ain't no instead. Y'all is who the fuck you are. Ain't nothing else you can be but a bunch of entertained fuck ups in life. You a bunch of goddamn failures and your ass ain't worth shit. That's why you can't contribute. So the people who contribute, I'm not even talking to y'all and they know that. I'm talking to y'all fuck asses who like to linger around in the goddamn crowd around here and spectate and go find your ass something to talk about for a day or two, or until the next great distraction come to fuck along and carry your little minor ass up under another minor goddamn rock. Because you're not of the land of the living. You're not amongst us. You curtsy your ass under a goddamn rock somewhere, and you come out when you hear madness, drama, fuckery, and then you take that shit back under your goddamn rock and feed on that goddamn shit with your dead ass. Until next time, fuck you. The rock you crawled out from under. And you bring your ass out. And numbers do what they fucking do. I don't even watch my goddamn numbers. I'm seeing this shit tonight because I'm still watching the goddamn viewer count going up. Because I'm amusing to some goddamn body. But all you doing is telling on your retarded ass self. Retarded means some elements. Y'all is some non-elemental creatures. Around here, we supporting the children. To a degree, sometimes to any means necessary. I had come up here and cuss and say some cuss words and get some goddamn entertainment up in here. Okay, whatever. What the fuck ever. In the meantime, we is doing stuff like creating this unschool guide for those who's on board and you're interested in actually supporting the children, and you know you're not one of the people I'm cussing the fuck out right now. We around here is actually working on the second part of this publication series of the Unschool Guide. Because yes, even you could remove your child or children from public private school, get a friend, a relative to help get you started. Find out how inside your copy, whether ebook or paperback, of the Unschool Guide. Order your copy today. Order your copy today. You need a copy at a discounted price? Go over to the Moonfox shop, www.moonfoxday.shop, and get you a copy. Otherwise, you're going to pay full price. But those who support the Moonfox shop already know the discounted publications are over there. We ain't here trying to take your money. We got publications, discounted prices. And this money goes towards the homeschool cooperative. The Moonfox shop is a whole nonprofit. The money goes into the nonprofit organization, which is the Moonfox shop, which is helping develop young entrepreneurs. You ain't been over there, go check them out. We went from a few entrepreneurs to a little bit more in this amount of space that we've already had the website open. And we're definitely bringing more entrepreneurs, the young ones, to the Moonfox shop, as we are in the stage right now of helping a few establish their products and have them listed on the Moonfox shop. This place is for the children. Where is y'all at? Y'all missed the episodes. You see her standing at that door looking like, where is you at? Where your money at? Where your donations at? This is my eldest grandchild. I'm gonna speak for her right now in her voice of when she an adult and she will cuss your ass out, because I'm gonna teach her how. Little girl on the door, like, where your money at? Why KingTheSwimmer walking around making videos trying to get $1,500, but y'all can send my mama some necklaces. Y'all can send my mama some clothes. Y'all can rent cars for my mama to travel, like she ain't got her own method to travel. Y'all can go to my mama's events and eat for free and take whole plates home, whole containers of beverages home that my mama made, her ginger lemonade. Y'all took the whole container home. She made ice cream cheesecakes. Everybody had some, but a few of y'all walked out with a whole ice cream cheesecake. My mama invited you to her event. Y'all ate for free. My mama ain't got no ticket prices at the door. You get yourself in there for free. My mama even come to some of y'all and help y'all with y'all businesses. And now that she helping us young people with our businesses, y'all can't help her support us. And then y'all know what Moonfox gonna do next? She gonna close that door on y'all asses. She ain't trying to hear you, because that Cash App in the corner, y'all asses ain't hit it up. Moonfox shut the door on y'all. So nonprofit, she ain't gonna have nothing for you, because that's my granddaughter. She ain't gonna have nothing for you. So y'all that want to backdoor these children, they ain't got nothing for you. There's a day and time coming. They see y'all's works is disastrous. They don't need y'all disastrous energy around them. They gonna turn you away if they even give you the space to be in, to turn away from you. Again, those who are interested in supporting the children, Ramutef has stated, again, I'm going to close with bringing him back up into this conversation. He has already shared with y'all some of the story of Karmic Dynasty coming to this, where we're at today. Rod talked about the children. We've all talked about the children this evening. Karmic Dynasty has been on the children's mission. Ben talked about the children should not be learning about sex right now. Y'all children is too grown. They should be somewhere coloring, being expressive in an innocent nature. And I had a whole series of children like with M-Town Vet. And right now I recall a video we did about where are the children in history. What people historically on their walls, in their temples, in their holy places, have children pictured on their walls or their stories? Why is it always only adults? Y'all not that important. We need to get again to the place where we acknowledge that the children are real. How else do we become adults? How else can we embrace our inner child? And that's part of what's wrong with the people I'm cussing out right now. Oh, so pleasantly. The system took your inner child from you, first by erasing the fact that children exist. Technically, on paper, in books, the history books in schools, where are the children at? They're looking at white men with fluffy white wigs, calling them leaders. They're looking at little white girls and their stories that they wrote in an attic during a war. They take the children from their homes, put them in the goddamn system, and take away any identity as much as possible that they've already received at home. At home, their pictures are everywhere. They're at home, the children's pictures are on the walls. Right now, our children have been reduced to the halls of the walls of their home, or the devices. The children's images trapped in a goddamn device. Some of y'all ain't got y'all's children's pictures on the walls no more, or on the bookshelves in the home. Nowhere. You have trapped your children's images in these devices. That's a whole lot of shame right now. Y'all need to be looking at yourself. Some of y'all that did it didn't even know you did it. You realize you did that shit? Go fix it. You cannot be who you are until you realize who you were. And you were a child first. You were always a child. You were always what you started out to be. Your root is a child. You were always a child. This big shit right here is what the fuck we grow into. We are all children. And we all have received our levels of harm, our levels of lack of support or no support. I'm sick right now. I've been breathing as guided in the private chat. But right now I'm sick. My stomach is turning. So I'm getting off this screen. Gratitude and appreciation to everyone donating to the Cash App for KingTheSwimmer and his goals, ambitions, swimming career, and to mention his self-esteem, his developing growth patterns, man that he will rise to in his fullness one day, completion for KingTheSwimmer. This is my piece. I passed my feather. I am leaving here. The panel who's here would like to say anything. Panel is open to you. And I definitely respect and honor you all for being here on the panel with me. Dynasty in my ASHRAM of ISHRAM capacity peacefully.
Thank you to all who have joined us this evening. Thank you to all who will join us later on and catch this at a later date. Again, gratitude for the donations that have come in and those that will be coming in. We appreciate the support for the youth on the Moonfox Shop, as well as KingTheSwimmer. That's my piece. I am Cherie Reed L. with Reed's Learning Street. Thank you again.